motivation and preparation led to a new sensation, new creation. That's what you're facing. Now watch my elevation.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Magsayo versus Rey Vargas. So they fought. It was a split decision. Vargas leaves with Magsayo's belts, and Magsayo was the only Filipino champion, with Manny Pacquiao retiring, and he was the guy that was saying is going to be next up. He suffers his first L to Rey Vargas, who had the great Nacho Burstein in his corner, and you had Freddie Roach in Magsayo's corner. So you got two legendary trainers, two good fighters. Vargas pulls off the victory. I'm going to turn over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. What was your reaction to the fight, and who do you think won?
I actually didn't score the fight. I didn't score the fight. I was just watching the fight. How I looked at the fight, right? It could have went either way, right? And the reason why I say that is this, right? If you would have counted the knockdowns by Magsayo, right? He wins the fight. You know, the activity and the jab from Rey, to me, is what persuaded some of the judges, right? So it was like the activity versus the power, and who did you go with? So I want to see it again. I would like to see it again. It should have been a draw. The ref kind of messed up with the knockdowns. But if this was a fair sport, Magsayo would still be champion, you know. But some things you don't see. I'm not gonna say corruption, you know. The ref, probably was, looking somewhere else, rain car girl, something, and missed the two knockdowns. But take that away, the jab and the work rate of Vargas, I can see why people would go for him. All in all, I just want to see it again, man. I want to see it again. I don't know. It should have been a draw. It was really weird for me.
All right, Conspiracy.
Yeah, I actually agree with Trill on this. I actually thought it was a draw as well because, Vargas was more active, but Magsayo, he kind of has a more refined Chisora style where he's going to throw a hook, he's going to land. You know what I mean? And now those two knockdowns, well, they were called slips. One of them was clear as day, was a knockdown. The other one, I could kind of see what the ref was saying. So I was like, I'll let that slide. You know what I mean? But imagine if they gave him credit for those two knockdowns, right? For the fight. It's hard to make an argument for Vargas. Vargas was clearly hurt. The dude's balance was off for a minute, for like a good portion of that fight after that first knockdown. So I'm just like, man, is it really a slip, bro? If you get hit by a punch and that punch causes you to go down, it's not a slip. You got hit, you know what I mean? But maybe the angle of where the ref was at, the ref was just like, nah, it's a slip. But then twice, I'm just like, I don't know. This seems a little fishy to me. But nonetheless, what have you? It's like, hey, I think they should run it back. Magsayo should have a chance to actually get his belts back. I didn't really like that decision. I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't like that decision, and I just think, man, run it back, it should have been a draw. Or even honestly, let me not say it should have been a draw. Because I could respect the Vargas win because, if you favor activity, then you're gonna favor activity, right? Like that could have been a judgment for like Pulev in the Chisora rematch. Some people may have said Pulev won just because of activity. He was more accurate. He was throwing more punches, but Chisora landed more power shots. So which one do you favor? So it's one of those situations, man. But I don't know, man. I think they should run it back. Magsayo, I thought if anything, if I had to lean towards a winner, I would say Magsayo because he has a style that I favor more than a Vargas. But it'll be even hard for me to make a real argument for Magsayo to win. So that's why I agree with Trill. It should have just been a draw. They need to run that back.
This is my 29th world champion. That's my man Nacho. Nacho had to get that in there during the post-fight press conference. Listen, I think Rey Vargas was the better technical boxer. Whenever they were in the center of the ring and they were fighting, he got the better of it. But there were times when Magsayo would land beautiful counters and he would land hard punches and they would impact Vargas greater than the work he was doing when he was being technical and landing good jabs and some hooks. Now, the question becomes, right, how do you score a fight? Because if you got someone landing who's more accurate, right, and they land, say, 3 punches, but then you have Magsayo who lands 1 hook, but that hook shows that it did more damage than the 3 punches that Vargas landed, who do you think wins the exchange? So that's what a lot of that fight came down to. It's like, okay, the more accurate fighter, the more technically sound fighter, the more classic traditional style that we normally see is Vargas. So when he's fighting that way, I feel like judges tend to favor that style. I'll be real, even I tend to favor that style, like the traditional classic boxer who's doing things the right way because, you know, that's the way I was taught. With that being said, though, Magsayo is a better boxer than I think he thinks he is. Because even if you look at the 9th round, he drops Vargas on a counter. On a counter, short counter right hand, drops the man. And the ref couldn't get that one wrong. I mean, you had to be blind to get that one wrong. But immediately after he drops him in the 9th round and the ref counts, Magsayo runs and tries to land this lookout hook, like, look out, here it comes, and flies into the ropes. So now it takes him like 10 seconds to get back in position to land another punch, and then he's swinging wild hooks. And then the bell sounds, and I'm thinking, your window of opportunity is gone. But why did Magsayo choose to go at him that way? He's more skilled. But he's more skilled than that. He could have set something up. He could have went in there. Look at how the knockdown happened. Vargas opened up and then he clipped him. So he could have taken his time. I feel like he could have went for the kill in a better way than that. I think he was out of control. Like, you know, if you ever watch basketball, right? All the basketball players don't drive to the rim as fast as they can. Or like running top speed. Because if you did, you'd be out of control. You got to go at a speed that allows you to beat the defender to the rim, and you can lay it in with control. Mm-hmm. Right? He just went like caution to the wind. I'm just trying to swing. And he was swinging so wide, it was telegraphed, and Vargas was able to slip him. When it was the short right hand counter that dropped Vargas in the 9th round. So I feel like he messed up there. And I feel like just because you have power doesn't mean you always have to rely on the power. I feel like Magsayo landed some nice jabs when he threw them, but he didn't throw them often. And so I do feel like if you're going to go off of scoring, I think Vargas pulled it off. However, there is the issue of what were these knockdowns, were these slips, right? And if you give Magsayo 2 knockdowns, he does win the fight, even on my scorecard. So, again, it's one of those things where I've been calling for replay in boxing for the longest time, you know, just to see was that knockdown cause? Was it a low blow? Was it a behind the head shot? I feel like Junior Fall, if they had replay,
Junior Fall shouldn't have lost.
Yeah, it may have been a no contest because that punch was directly behind the head, you know. So you just always have that. And I think it you know, people don't see it coming because it happens in the 9th round or it happens in the 5th round. But then towards the end, if you get a close decision like this one, then it matters. Then it plays a huge role between winning and losing, between being the only Filipino champion and not being, between having your O and losing your O, right? And you know, a lot of people will probably scream corruption. I know that Vargas is Mexican, Mauricio Suleiman, Mexican, Nacho Bernstein, the great legendary trainer with 29 world champions, Mexican. So, you know, but this is a fight that could have gone either way. And the mistake was on the ref. And I don't know what the ref was. If the ref isn't Mexican, then you can't, because the ref is the one who made the call that it wasn't knockdown. So it's on the ref. And those calls, scoring it by the letter of the law, for me, I do think Vargas pulled it off slightly by a round. But again, if you count knockdowns, then I think that Magsayo wins. So it was a competitive fight. I think Magsayo deserves a chance at getting his belt back, but we'll see if that happens because it didn't seem like Vargas was too interested in a rematch in his post-fight press conference. So we'll see what happens.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing.